ABC Kinderteach presents Giraffes Can't Dance. Written by Giles Andreae, illustrated by Guy Parker Reese. Well, that giraffe looks like he's dancing, doesn't it? Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees. And the shoots on trees are just the new leaves that come on a tree. But when he tried to run around, he buckled at the knees. And buckled at the knees just means the knees bent, but he didn't want them to. Ooh, I hope he didn't hurt himself there. And see, there's his knee buckling right there. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. And prance just means move with high, bouncy steps. And this year, when the day arrived, or showed up, poor Gerald felt so bad, because when it came to dancing, he was really very bad. So he's feeling very, very sad because he wants to dance, but he just doesn't think he's a good dancer. I don't know if anybody else thinks he's a good dancer either. Do you think he will dance? The warthogs started waltzing. It's a fancy kind of dancing. And the rhinos rocked and rolled. The lions danced a tango, a fun dance that began in South America. That was elegant and bold, which means fancy and exciting. The chimps all did a cha-cha with a very Latin feel. A cha-cha is a fun dance like a tango. And Latin feel just means doing it with a lot of energy. And 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Splendid is wonderful. And a Scottish reel is a very old type of dance from Scotland. Gerald swallowed bravely, gulp, as he walked toward the floor, but the lions saw him coming and they soon began to roar. And roar here means laughing really loudly, not this type of roar. Roar. Hey, look at clumsy Gerald. The animals all sneered, said in a mean way. Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird. So they're being really mean to him. Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot, which means he couldn't move. They're right, he thought. I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot. And a clot is a clumsy person. So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. He'd never felt so sad before, so sad and so alone. So his feelings were really hurt because they didn't even give him a chance to dance. They just laughed at him. Everybody laughed at him. Then he found a little clearing, a grassy place surrounded by trees, and he looked up at the sky. The moon can be so beautiful, he whispered with a sigh. Excuse me, coughed a cricket who'd seen Gerald earlier on, but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. Listen to the swing, moving back and forth, grass, and listen to the trees. To me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze. So imagine that the lovely moon is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to. So he's saying, you know what, just Listen to a music that makes you feel good about dancing, not necessarily what everybody else likes. Just if you like it, that's fine. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His whose head started shuffling. He was dragging his feet along, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying and his tail was swishing round. So he's starting to dance, isn't he? And he's pretty good at it. He threw his arms out sideways and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up in the air. Wow, he is a great dancer after all. Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide. I am dancing. Yes, I'm dancing. I am dancing, Gerald cried. Then one by one each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied or danced on and watched him quite entranced. They couldn't take their eyes off of him. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream. Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen." So they're saying, wow, we laughed at Gerald, but he is a fantastic dancer, the best we've ever seen, and they're all happy for him. How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how. But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow, which means he bent his head down low like this. Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above. We all can dance, he said, when we find music that we love. So he's saying, you know what, if you find the right music, you can dance to it.